It's time for the Burning River Sportscast. Browns 16, Ravens 23. Feels bad again.
Couldn't score 17 points. You know, we got to 16. I was at the game today. We got to 16, and I turned to my wife, and I was like, I think we're done. We can't score anymore.
That's it. No more scoring can be made.
There's no way for the Cleveland Browns to score more than 16 points.
Nope.
We did last week, I guess, but, didn't mean anything.
It's just not a thing.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess I'll get things started with, let me remind everybody to call. Not there yet. You can find our podcast wherever you get your podcasts. I'm talking Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, Pandora, iHeartRadio, Podcast Castro, Good Pods. We're our number one ranked football podcast, and so many more. While you're at it, please leave us a review on your preferred podcast app. It really helps us grow and get seen. And don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, the only place that you can find our video podcast, and check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Our handle for all those socials is at Burning River Sportscast, and we are on X as well at the handle at Burning River Pod. While you're at it, check out our merch, www.thetapandmedia.com/shop. All kinds of stuff in there. Before we get started, quick shout out to some of our sponsors. Towpat Distillery, an award-winning craft distillery located in Akron, Ohio. Towpat Distillery focuses on high-quality spirits carefully made in small batches. Towpat Distillery, handcrafted, award-winning, small batch, local, and family-owned.
Their batches are the smallest.
And Primetime Sports and Framing, with locations in Hartville, Streetsboro, Belden Village, Great Northern, and Kent. They are easily accessible wherever you are in Northeast Ohio. With the best selection in autographed collectibles and world-class framing operation, they are your go-to for officially licensed memorabilia. Primetime Sports and Framing.
You name it, they frame it.
It's the only time Kenny gets involved with any sort of advertising. And they provide our giveaway items, a jersey and a framed Myles Garrett poster that don't worry, guys, it's going out this week. I promise it'll get to you. And so today on the show this week, you look forward to, we got a recap of today's week 11 loss to the Ravens, a closer look at the offense, defense, and special teams play. Our nominees for Dog of the Week, Shadeur Sanders debut, a little bit of Sanders versus Gabriel talk and what we expect the Browns to do moving forward. And I'm sure there's going to be so much more, or we might just talk about Shadeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel all night. We'll see where the night takes us. But with that, let's get things started by reminding everybody to call the Burning River Sportscast Hot Take Hotline.
Call that.
Don't forget to call. Leave your hot takes on the Hot Take Hotline.
We usually these are hot takes by now, but I guess the game was at 4:00, so people haven't had a chance to digest and get too angry yet. They're still processing.
It was close too, so they had a little bit of hope for a minute. Now they're like, I think it's catching up. It's like, what did I just watch?
Get those rolling in, boys.
Yeah. So the number for that 330-227-8081.
Oh, 330-227-8081.
330-227-8081. Call now. Operators not standing by, but we'll put you on the air. All right. So the week 11 recap. What? He's laughing at the Browns.
It's another week, another loss.
Another week, another loss. And listen, if you told me that Lamar Jackson was 14 for 25 for 195 yards, no touchdowns, and 2 interceptions, and he took 5 sacks for 26 yards, I'm saying, well, dang, we probably did pretty good. We might have actually squeaked one out here. No, we didn't.
No, it doesn't happen here.
He also didn't get anything going on the ground. He rushed 4 times for 10 yards. Who did have 1 rush for 35 yards and a touchdown, though, was Mark Andrews.
Yeah, I mean, the Browns invent new ways to lose every week. I think that's a
new one. Tight end run out of the backfield on a fake tush push.
Probably the first time I ever saw the fake tush push off tackle for a score. There was not a goal line play. It was a 30-yard scamper.
The Browns said, "You guys will not tush push. We'll put 11 in the box."
Not only that, it's a tight end that like no one could catch him.
It's too fast.
It's Mark Andrews. He's 100 years old,
and he's like not that he's not athletic, but he's not. You don't look at him, you're like Mark Andrews. He's the most athletic tight end in the NFL. Like,
he's not Saquon Barkley, that's for sure.
No, and he turned on the Jets. Apparently, we could not catch that guy, and I felt so bad for whoever the line. I couldn't get a good look at it. I was at the game. We had really, really nice tickets. We were in a suite. It was awesome. And the game was fun, but I couldn't get a good look at whoever tried. The last guy that dove and tried to tackle him and just laid there with his face in the ground like, damn it. We couldn't get him.
Couldn't get the tight end.
Yeah,
Feels
so feel
bad.
bad for that guy. Um,
It
but
was
yeah, and then Derrick Henry was Derrick Henry, 18 for 103, and they actually played him tough, I think. But I mean, he did have a long of 59, so there's that.
yeah, that run that was a big one, and they
Yeah,
did hawk him down.
they could catch him,
I
but he's
think
just like known for breaking
I,
away from everybody,
I
and they
think it
couldn't.
was Denzel. I was like, hey, ain't nobody gonna catch him, and Denzel shoestringed him at the goal line there.
Denzel was like, I don't think so. So yeah, I mean, again, if you told me Lamar had that game, I would say that I feel pretty good about it. But let me just read you our combined quarterback stats: 11 of 26 for 81 yards and the interception. So you did not hear that wrong. We threw for 81 yards today.
It's that explosive Tommy Reese offense.
Yeah. And so let's actually we're gonna change directions here, Kenny. We're gonna start with the defense just because I want to talk about Myles Garrett before we get into the Shadeur and Dylan discussion, because I think that's pretty much going to take up the rest of the time here. So first of all, yeah, Myles once again 4 sacks in the day. Just went bananas every time that guy got in the backfield and was hitting somebody. You should hear it at the stadium. The stadium was like 3/4 of the way empty. And it was the whole lower
Tickets were
bowl
$6.
the whole lower bowl was almost completely purple. But the stadium went nuts when Myles Garrett got in the backfield, and every time he had another sack, it was like you just listen to everybody around you, and they're like, "No way, he got another one. He got another one. He got another one." And yet we still got guys like John Tinchy on our Facebook out here telling us that he's not very good and that he doesn't hustle, he doesn't get after it. Well, he's well ahead of pace for the sack record, if I'm not mistaken. So
I don't know what you're supposed to do as a defensive end to be more impactful than to have 4 or 5 sacks in a game. You still can't win. So
like the dude was literally drafted as a pass rush specialist. Like that's what he does.
I don't understand. I don't know what else he can do to quiet the haters because
Yeah.
he's the best I've ever seen. Period. I mean, he's really, really good. He's the
It's
one
just so
thing that is
stupid.
fun to watch each week on this Browns team.
And like watching him rush the pass is seriously insane because the bend that guy gets, like coming around the edge, and how he's able to just like he's like a contortionist just trying to get in there and
Uh,
do whatever he can to get past that guy.
His size and athleticism is second to none.
Yeah. Um. So yeah. So obviously, Myles Garrett, big game. The rest of the defense actually played pretty well.
Well,
I
sure.
mean, there was a
Look,
couple broken plays, but overall they played well.
this is one of the best offenses in the NFL. Last year, Lamar threw for 40 touchdowns, I think, to like 3 picks. Like, I know they don't have a whole bunch of like big name receivers, but like that passing game is always good. And with Lamar's threat to run, it's always explosive. And to have Derrick Henry in the mix too, and to give up 23 points on the day. I mean, frankly, if you're the Ravens, this was like a nightmare scenario. I mean, everything that could go wrong went wrong, especially in that first half. You have
Yep.
Myles with 3 sacks in the first half alone, the muffed punt, pick
Devin Bush.
6, jumped off sides on 4th down. I mean, literally everything that could go wrong went wrong for them. And I said, what 16-10 at halftime. So
Yeah.
I mean, testament to them to sticking with it.
Well, I think the worst part about that whole thing is their defense is not good.
No, but it's getting better and it's getting healthy.
Getting better. I'll give them that. But my point is, our offense could literally get nothing going. Like not even a little bit. With
this defense, if your offense was mediocre, if you had a C+ offense,
yeah,
you would win a lot of games.
Well, and they came out in this game, and Quinshawn had a few carries early, found some success, and then Baltimore watched Dylan Gabriel completely miss his target a few times, and they were like, "Oh, this guy can't make basic throws, so we could just put 9 guys in the box, and then or 8 guys in the box and man up on the outside, and we're probably pretty good." And they were fine,
and they were, yeah.
And they just completely shut down Quinshawn Judkins after that. I mean, I think after the first quarter, he did basically nothing. So,
I mean, frankly, for most of the game, I mean, he had a couple nice runs, but like those nice runs were like 6 and 7 yard gashes, and then, I mean, he had 17 carries for 59 yards. It wasn't like he broke a 40 yarder out there. Like
You know who did have a good run and we refused to give him the ball ever is Dylan Sampson.
Dylan Sampson, yeah, he averaged 19 yards a carry today on one carry.
When they gave him the ball, I literally was like, no way. They gave him the ball and see what happens. He's an explosive runner, and then they never gave him the ball again. They were like, we're done with that.
Yeah, I mean, I actually didn't hate the game plan in the first half. Now, I think when you think about play calling, there's certainly a lack of imagination there. These a lot of the runs and stuff are very straightforward, but I felt like there was a concerted effort to run the ball heavily, which they did. And I thought for a minute there we were going to see a two-headed monster with Dylan and Quinn Sean getting the ball, but it was short-lived because he only got one carry. And and there was
No
a concerted
monster.
effort. There was a concerted effort to get balls to wide receivers
Yeah.
for the very first time all year. I mean, Dylan only completed 7 passes in the first half, but 6 of those 7 went to wide receivers, which is just very unusual for this Browns offense to get wide receivers involved. Dylan also had the longest throw of his short NFL career today, so good job on him. He almost threw the ball for 20 yards. Um,
Yeah. Um, yeah, and I will give credit here today. We give a lot of shit all the time about not sticking with the run, even when it's not necessarily getting them anywhere. And we stuck with the run the entire game today. For the first time that I think I've ever seen with Stefanski as the head coach. So
well, yeah, I mean, obviously, I mean, the second half was a disaster once Shadeur got in and things changed pretty considerably. I mean, they just didn't. Would they run like 20 plays in the second half altogether?
not
So
a lot.
wasn't good.
Nope, it wasn't very many. Um, but yeah, it I don't know. The offense is the offense. I mean, that's the worst part about it is it didn't matter. At the end of the day, it didn't matter who was playing. Like Shadeur came in the second half, and we'll get to that in a minute because I have a few things to say about just when he got in and what was going on.
Yeah.
Um, but
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for is a shot with Shadeur.
yeah, we'll talk about it. But my point is, it doesn't matter who runs this offense because even with Tommy Reese calling plays, you could have a playbook full of shit plays. Doesn't matter who calls plays, you're still going to have a shit offense because your playbook is full of shit plays. So, like, it doesn't matter
Right.
who's calling plays. It doesn't matter who's running the offense. It's still Kevin Stefanski's offense.
Right.
And this is where we're at. We score 16 points.
Yep.
But yeah, so yeah, we'll get to Shadeur. So Shadeur Sanders, when he came in, first of all, was insane in the place. Like both, I think both the Ravens fans and the Browns fans wanted to see him, and everybody went nuts.
Well, and I
And
think in the stadium, you guys had no idea because Dylan never
no,
came out of the locker room because he
we had
was
no
in
idea.
concussion protocol.
I heard the crowd. I had just sat down. I was like I said, I was in a suite. We had lots of food. It was awesome. And I went in to get more food, and I was like kind of talking to some people, and I came out and I sat down like right as the second half was starting, and the guy next to me, like smacks my arm. He's like, "Shadeur's in." I was like, "What?" And then the crowd went nuts. Everybody just
Yeah.
went insane, and I was like, "Oh yeah, Shadeur is in."
And a final thing before we jump to Shadeur, I'm pretty sure the play that got Dylan dazed was, and I can't remember if it was a read play at this point, but there just shouldn't be a running play in the playbook for Dylan Gabriel, a designed run for Dylan
No,
Gabriel. He's not the type of quarterback that's going to be able to run the ball during the game on designed runs and
no. Let's
survive.
let's let's be honest about this whole
So
thing. When
poor
he got
play call
yeah
to put him in that situation.
when he got destroyed on that play, I mean, it was brutal looking. I mean, I'm sure it probably looked bad there at home, but like watching it in person and seeing these guys actually like with my own eyes on the field next to him, 3 of them grab him and basically
Yeah.
throw him across the field. I was like, no way. This is like he's dead. He's dead.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if
And
that was a part of the plan to get Shadeur in the game or what, but I don't know why that would even be in the playbook with a 5'10" quarterback that's slight of frame. Like it's just not a smart decision at all.
no, and
He's
he
gonna
I
take
mean,
enough hits scrambling to get away from the pass rush. Why would you ever have him in a designed run scenario?
Right.
And I know with the read, there's an option there. If it was a read, I can't remember now if it was just a read or a quarterback off tackle, but just it just shouldn't be in the conversation of
Yeah,
being
and
able to call that play.
I will say this: if I ever hear somebody say that quarterback size is not a factor, like it doesn't matter, I'm just gonna play that play over and over again for him and say, if your guy's 5'7", 190 pounds, he's going to die.
Yeah, I mean, I get worried every time that he drops back and gets hit or sacked that he's going to get crushed. So to put him
Oh,
out
mm,
in the open field and just hey tackle me, that's just not a good idea.
yeah, it was awful. It just was hard to watch in person. And again, you guys probably got like 14 replays of it afterwards too, especially after they announced that he wasn't coming back the second half.
Yeah.
Um, and so, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens going forward. Obviously Shadeur came in, and we can talk about Shadeur now. I mean, how did you think Shadeur looked?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
All right, I'll give you my take. Um,
I like how you
here's what
commented for me in the comments somehow.
here's where I'm at. Um, Look, there's a lot of reaction right now. There's a lot of overreaction right now. Obviously, not the debut that he or we all had planned for. But look, he has not been getting a lot of reps in practice. We know that. We know he hasn't practiced with this first team, and this game plan wasn't a Shadeur game plan, right? It was a Dylan Gabriel game plan.
Yeah.
The offense is bad regardless, right? The O line is bad. The receivers are poor. Judkins averaged under 4 yards a carry again today. The scheme is poor, lacks creativity and imagination. And those are all things that Dylan Gabriel is dealing with too. But I think it's fair that those things didn't help Shadeur in his first action on the field. And I'll say, like, that's why I've been on the record for the last couple of weeks now saying, like, I didn't care to see Shadeur in this offense because it was probably going to look a lot like the dog shit we've been watching. Um, so I guess let's start with the good. We'll tackle the bad because there was very little good, but there was some. So I thought the first pass out of the gate, there was a lot of emotion in the stadium. I felt that spoke to just this poise in the moment that he was able to
Hmm.
come out and deliver the ball. And it was on a route that Dylan had missed earlier in the game a couple times, just a simple flat route. But
Yeah. Yeah.
um, and then the next couple drives were rough, but used his feet to make plays. I thought he was every bit as mobile and as fast as I've seen Dylan, who's known for his mobility and that being a part of his game. And I also didn't worry about him every time he got tackled that he was going to be smushed like a bug.
Yeah.
The offense in the first half was 0 for 6 on third downs. Shadeur was 2 of 8, so it's not a good number, but it's an improvement to at least have converted something. Um, and then, I think that the final drive, again, earlier in the game, Dylan completed the longest pass of his career. Shadeur immediately topped that in like his fourth series. So I thought he made a couple of good, tough throws on that final drive, in that he at least made a good read and delivered the ball accurately. And now
Oh,
there was
let's.
a there was no, I'm not done.
Oh, sorry.
there was
Sorry.
there was a Judy drop, a Fannin drop, and the Loverdane drop in the end zone that all could have been caught. There was probably pass interference on the third and fourth down plays that weren't called. Also, pretty sure Baltimore was offsides on the final play that didn't
They
get
were
called.
offsides,
But
and it was a pass interference, like you said, on Njoku. They were
yeah,
there like a full half a second too soon.
but them's the breaks, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's kind of
Those items,
the good.
those things did not cost us the game.
No, and I'm again. This isn't even about what the game
Specifically, the
resolution. This
penalties.
is
The
just
rest of
about
those drops probably cost us the game.
yeah. No, this was just purely just observations on Shadeur in
Yeah.
general. I mean, it's a tough spot to be in for any backup quarterback to come in the second half in a game that you weren't planned to be the starter in, right? So
Right. Well,
is
here.
is the loss on Shadeur? No, and the win probably wouldn't have been either. I mean, the defense played really well throughout. Like it's a team effort here. But just the observations on Shadeur in general. But so that was the things that I saw that were, I think, positives from an otherwise kind of poor debut. But then I think when you get to the bad, this was what was concerning to me, is that he looked unprepared.
Mhm.
Which shame on the coaching staff, right, for
Yeah.
not
Well,
having the guy
I'll get there
ready.
in a second. I've got a whole. Yeah. Go on.
Um, and he did not deal with pressure well. So
No.
I think shame on coaching staff for not having the guy ready, but shame on Shadeur because you've been watching for 11 weeks, and when you had the chance, you had an opportunity to go out and change the narrative and control your own destiny here. And he looked like a guy that let the circumstances and the frustration and the noise get to him. And
Yeah.
what I mean by that is not that he couldn't call play or couldn't throw the ball. The skill I think is there. Jesus, I mean, you could see his eyes on TV going through his reads, right? The
Hmm.
problem was that he wasn't in the game plan. He wasn't prepared for what this defense was going to do. He prepared. He didn't prepare like he was a snap away from being in the game. He
Right.
looked like he prepared like a guy that is frustrated and entitled and planned on spending Sunday afternoon feeling bad for himself, watching Dylan Gabriel suck up the place for the 15th time, so that he could go back to his boys afterward and talk about how unfair it is that he's not getting a fair shot. Well, guess what? That shot came today, and he didn't meet the moment. He was totally unprepared for the pressure, couldn't get through his reads fast enough. He put the ball on the ground, he threw a pick, got caught up in that intentional grounding scenario that put his punter on his own boundary that caused the 39-yard punt that
Oh,
gave way to the Mark Andrews
yeah.
end
Yeah.
around anyway that pretty much sealed the game. And so, that was all bad. And then and when he couldn't get to his reads, he tucked the ball and ran, which is good because it's responsible, but bad because that's what overwhelmed rookies do. That's what Charlie Fry did, right? Like that's you tuck it and run because you don't have
You
a
just
better
don't know what
plan.
else to do. Yeah.
The footwork was messy, too much falling back, not stepping up into the pocket to and into pressure to clear throwing lanes. And so that's what was disappointing. Like he had a golden opportunity to be legendary, and he showed up to the test without studying, and that's the most concerning thing of all because. I don't put a lot of stock into the noise and the social media hysteria. Like you're a grown ass man. Take care of your business. But tonight he played right into the narrative by not doing everything he could to be as prepared as possible, leveraging all the resources he does have, and not taking his preparation seriously enough to be ready for the moment, which was his moment today.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at on Shadeur.
Yeah. So, I mean, I have a lot of the same thoughts on him. A couple things that I wanted to talk about. You mentioned the throws at the end, right? And there was some drops, some pass interference, whatever the case might have been. That pass interference that wasn't called. The one that I want to point out, I heard a lot of people in the stadium kind of groaning and yelling at Shadeur for they're like, "Oh, you missed him. He was wide open." Is the one before the Laverdane drop. Um, and it was a broken play. Like they came in, both ends got around completely untouched, and he had to bail out to the left side, and then he threw it to the corner of the end zone. It was a great ball. The receiver did not see that it was a broken
Yeah.
play quick enough, and he got stuck inside, and he didn't get out fast enough. Shadeur was throwing it to where only his guy could catch it, but his guy didn't flip his hips and get to the outside fast enough. So
It, and I'll
that was
say
open.
credit to Baltimore because when they changed gears entirely in the second half,
Yeah.
they pretty much were stacking the line with 7, 8 guys on the line of scrimmage before every play. They were stopping the run and they were bringing the pressure. And that's smart, right? They knew they had a rookie quarterback that wasn't prepared to play, that wasn't in the
Yep.
game plan, that everyone knows hasn't been practicing, hasn't practiced with the first team. So it was smart to bring 6 and 7 guys because that was ultimately the what did him in
Yep.
because there was pressure on every play and in his face. And again, like I'm not excusing Shadeur's being bad because he had pressure. You have to deal with that as a quarterback, but they totally changed their game plan defensively and just got after him. I mean, they pinned their ears back and got after him. And guys were free runners. I mean, Kyle Hamilton walked through the line untouched a couple of times there. On the interception, he was getting hit as he threw, so I'm sure that was one he wanted to have back because he was getting tackled as he threw the ball. So those things happen, but you have to be prepared for that, and you have to know where your outlets are. And he didn't.
Yeah. And yeah, so the other thing I wanted to touch on though was you talked about um preparation for this game and the fact that he looked unprepared. And I guess what I have to say about that is, yeah, no shit. Kevin Stefanski's come to the podium every week for the past however many weeks and said, every time they ask him, is Shadeur getting any reps with the ones? No. Well, what did you expect then? Like, they said is he every single time all Kevin has to say is, well, he's getting some work in the red zone drills that we do. And everybody says, oh, you mean the red zone drills with like the backups after practice is over? And he's like, yeah, that's the
Well,
one.
that they mentioned that on the broadcast that they have special Shadeur sessions every Monday and every Saturday.
They're with all backups.
Well, just the idea though that like if a guy is going to be playing at any point, you probably need more reps than that. I mean, and take this for anything that anyone does, right? If you're a bowler or a golfer and you're at the top of your game, if you're Tiger Woods, if Tiger Woods went from practicing every day of the week to 2 days a week, and instead of hitting 100 balls, he was hitting 20 2 days a week, would Tiger Woods be a very good golfer? Probably not.
You don't think?
No, I don't think.
All right, well. But yeah, so those were two major things for me. And I just think that goes so deep with Kevin Stefanski not practicing him. Like there's whatever is going on. We've talked about this a lot. Whatever is going on, something is going on where Kevin Stefanski does not like Shadeur Sanders. And the fact that what did you say last week? I mean, you're Nostradamus over here. You said 2 weeks ago, you said the only way we're going to see Shadeur is because the hand is going to be forced. The football
Yep.
gods are going to hurt Dylan Gabriel, and Browns fans are going to cheer when he gets hurt because not because they want to see Dylan Gabriel hurt, but because they're going to see Shadeur Sanders. And
Right.
that's Kevin's fault for not seeing what's in front of him and working with Shadeur Sanders more or working him in more, knowing that you have to evaluate both rookies before the end of the season. And that's exactly
Yeah.
what happened. I mean, the whole scenario played out. Like I said, the stadium erupted when everybody realized that he was actually going to be playing. Everybody went nuts. Everybody went nuts again when he had his first completion 2 plays later or 1 play
Yeah.
later, whatever it was. And then they kind of settled down after he threw a pick and got sacked and all the other bad things that happened. But yeah, I mean, this is on Kevin. Like this whole thing to me, I don't put this game on Shadeur, and that's not me being like a Shadeur Sanders apologist or anything like that. I agree with you. He should have prepared harder. He should have done things. But the fact of the matter is, he 100% thought like, "There's no way I'm getting in this game."
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, exactly. Well, and look, and when it comes to preparation too, right? We've talked about this with John Hughes ad nauseum, from the fact that when he left Cleveland and went to New Orleans, that they practiced every scenario that never happened because they wanted to be ready when it did. You have
Yep.
a quarterback on your team that got in the game today that has not seen enough meaningful reps, and that was very clear just to watch him today. That they weren't saying, "Hey, what's our game plan if Dylan goes down? What's the package that we're going to run?" They didn't have a plan for that,
No.
and that was evident.
Well, and that's yeah, and that's my point. Is that's fine. You could tell me he's not the starter. That's the fact that you don't even practice him
Right?
is just insane to me. And then we don't even have a QB3, so let's not even go like forget the fact that we were playing with literally no safety net. It was just like if he gets hurt, then we're just going with like a random running back or wide receiver is going to play with quarterback now. So
Wildcat with Quinshawn.
yeah, so I mean, don't even get me started with like that allows the Ravens to be able to say, yeah, we're bringing all the pressure because
Yeah.
if we get to this guy and something happens to him, it's an easy win the rest of the way.
Well, and then all those things compound, right? Because you can bring the pressure because none of those receivers scare you. You know the offensive line is poor. Cam Robinson went down in the first half, so they had Leviston in at left tackle. So, like, you knew that the offensive line was weak. Those receivers don't scare you, and you were doing a good job stopping the run. So why not pin your ears back and come?
That's what I would. That was funny. That's what I would have done. You said silly things there. But yeah, I don't know. Like it was it a rough day for Shadeur Sanders? Absolutely. And to me, I 100% agree with you. Like it would have been much nicer as a Browns fan, as somebody who wants the Browns to be good in general. Like yeah, it would have been great to see him come in there and take the bull by the horns and say, "I've been
Yep.
preparing for this day for weeks."
Yep.
And light it up. Did he do that? No.
No.
Do I put that solely on him though? No, because it's just the fact of
No.
what has been going on all season long. And
Agreed.
I'll even
And
throw
look,
Andrew Berry in there. It starts with Andrew Berry because the fact that both these quarterbacks are on the roster, and we literally like the only team ever that just has 2 rookie quarterbacks as their quarterback room. That's what we have. We don't have anything else. We have 2 rookie quarterbacks. That's what we roll with every Sunday.
according to AI, we're the only team that's ever done that. So,
Yeah,
um,
I don't know.
but
Seems it's a
but
bold
look,
strategy. Let's see if it pays off for him, Cotton.
I also don't want it to come off like I'm killing Shadeur here too. I think I'm just trying to be objective, just and just provide the observation because I mean I think the next question is like where do we go from here, right? And I know where Stefanski's going. He came out immediately after the game and said
Yeah,
Dylan's the starter as soon as he can see.
yeah,
but but I can tell you this. Um, I saw even in a poor performance, I saw Shadeur do everything that Dylan has been doing poorly for 5 or 6 weeks now, meaning he can suck just as bad. Um, as Dylan, with the exception of seeing actual arm talent. He can put the ball on a guy. He's not throwing the ball 8 yards over your head or rolling them in the dirt. He can make mistakes. He can take sacks. He can throw picks. Those things are fixable. The difference between the two quarterbacks is that there's actual arm talent with Shadeur. The
yeah,
question is, does this coaching staff care and can they prepare and game plan him and put the pieces around him to succeed? Um, I even after today's rough outing, I fully believe Shadeur is the better athlete, and I think
absolutely.
he's the better quarterback on the roster.
Yeah, no, and
That doesn't mean that he's a franchise quarterback. I just
yeah,
think he's better than Dylan Gabriel.
no, and I agree. Look, Gabriel was 7 for 10 today before he went down. Those 3 passes that he missed were some of the worst passes I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, they
And they
weren't
were
even
on
close.
simple throws. 2 of them were outs. And I believe the other one was a drag that he just like completely overthrew the guy by like 6 yards. I was like,
And and the
where's
one
that
to
going?
Judy and the one to Judy was 3 feet over his head. Judy had to make a tremendously athletic play just to catch the ball, and then it was elevated in the air when he got hit because he had to go
Yeah.
up and get it on a pass that was 6 yards. Like there was
Yeah.
no reason for it to be 3 feet
No,
over his head.
anything to the outside of the field, it just watch him. It looks like he puts everything he possibly has into that throw. And it
Yeah,
still most of the time is in the dirt.
yeah. He,
And
he just
the
can't
one
throw.
time, the one time it's not, it's airmailed by a lot.
Yeah, he just can't throw the ball well.
So yeah,
And
I
and
mean, arm
and
talent wise, Shadeur hasn't beat there. Athletic ability, Shadeur hasn't beat. Size, Shadeur hasn't beat. Like I don't really know. Are you going to tell me that Dylan Gabriel Windows 95 is still a supercomputer? Like that ship sailed. So
and I was pleasantly surprised at Shadeur's mobility, right? I mean, he wasn't Lamar Jackson out there by any means, but I thought he was plenty fast if he had to get out of the pocket and scramble. I think he's agile in the pocket. We saw the spin move a couple times. A couple times it didn't go well. He got sacked back there, but the one time he did get away and rolled out, I think it was on that third down play to Larvadane, that he had to spin and get away. So, and even on that fourth down play, that offsides created immediate pressure that didn't get called. That was the guy that came in and wrecked the play, was the guy that was offsides. So, and that's why, and Wyatt Teller was pissed. He was throwing his helmet afterwards.
yeah. Yeah,
Um,
James Frank actually said a little bit ago. He said, "I've never seen Wyatt Teller that loud and vocal. I thought he was going to try to fight the refs." Yeah,
yeah,
it sure looked like it at the game too. And every time he said something, he had a point. And I think the biggest thing and why it started to boil over on that last play on offense for the Browns is because he had been pointing it out the entire game. He's like, "This guy's going off sides. This guy's lining up off sides. This guy's getting cross. Whatever. Nothing's getting called." And then they do it on the penultimate play of the game.
yeah. I mean,
And
to
nobody says
Wyatt's
anything.
credit, Wyatt made a pretty athletic move to fence him, to get back and just fence him for a
Yeah,
second, to give
yeah,
Shadeur a second to get rid of the ball. But that guy came in as basically a free rusher. I mean, he
yeah,
moved before anybody else did, and Wyatt was
yeah.
like,
When you're
"How can
allowed
you?
to
How can
start
you let
before
him just?"
anyone else, it's not really fair. But
Yeah, I mean, what are we doing here?
it's
So
kind of the reason there's a rule.
right.
But yeah, I mean, so yeah, Wyatt Teller was up and I was really hoping that would turn into a fight. Just because I love it when division rivals fight each other. I was like, let's go right now. Everybody fight each other. It
I don't
didn't
really
though.
want Wyatt Teller getting suspended for the next game.
Oh,
So
why not? We're gonna lose anyways. Yeah, I know we got the Raiders. We're gonna lose. Just spoiler alert. Um,
Let me tell you this: the Browns were winning or leading for most of the game, and at 0 point did I have any faith that we were going to win
No,
that game.
I feel the same. Like I was excited when they kept somehow coming up with plays to keep them ahead, but I was like, something's happening.
At
I will
no
say this
point
too. I
I
will say
thought
this
we were
too.
going to win.
When they punted and the punt was muffed and we recovered it right by the end zone, I actually said right before that punt, I looked at my wife and I said, I have a bad feeling about this. And then it went our way, and I was like, no way. Like, this is great. And then we didn't do anything with it, I don't think. So it didn't matter.
Yeah, no,
Um,
kick the field goal,
but yeah, I kind of expected us to lose the whole time, even when we were ahead. So
which feels bad. I mean, you'd like to be able to root for your team and get excited, but
it's amazing that the
it's
Browns
just
can
not in
make
the
the culture.
cards.
It's amazing that the Browns can make the culture bleed out into the fans. Like, just expect to lose, guys. That's what we do.
Yeah.
um,
The other thing I'll say too, and again, I know this isn't to be a Shadeur apologist, but it's just like I don't know. Clearly, there's a rift between Stefanski and Shadeur. Like,
maybe fire Stefanski and we'll see what can happen.
well, I just like what were they calling? If you're Stefanski and you're trying to make an in-house point that Shadeur can't run the offense or can't process the information fast enough,
What do you do?
you
You set
know,
him up for failure.
do you? Yeah, I mean, are you running stuff potentially that is he telling Tommy like, hey, I want to see package A and B because he knows Shadeur can't run it? Like I don't know. I don't want to go down the conspiracy well,
He kind of did.
but is that a possibility here that Shadeur looked bad because maybe the offense wasn't being called for Shadeur? I think it's at least within the realm of possibility.
Well, if there's one thing we know for sure, it's Kevin Stefanski's got like one gear and he can't change from it. So if he was calling the game for Dylan Gabriel, it was being called for Dylan Gabriel when Shadeur Sanders came in too.
Well, right. Well,
And I
think
know Tommy
that's my
Reese calls
point.
the plays. Again, this is back to my analogy of all the if it's a shit sandwich, it doesn't matter what ingredients you pull out of it, it's still a shit sandwich.
Yeah, if it's Kevin Stefanski's playbook, but Tom Reese is calling the plays, he's still
It's still Kevin Stefanski's playbook.
Still Kevin, so. Yeah, still lives to ground pick.
Yeah, and you think they really had spent even a second game planning for any scenario where anything like this could happen? No.
Well, no, and then so we've talked about, right? I mean, there was clearly no preparation to say if Shadeur does get in the game due to injury, what are we going to roll with? I mean, you have to, even if you didn't like the guy, if you're the head coach of the football team, you would think that you would have a plan B, which is, hey, here's the kind of 15 to 25 plays that we're going to kind of roll with because this is what we have practiced with Shadeur. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. So going forward, what do you expect? I mean, obviously, he said he's going with Dylan Gabriel, but how long do you expect that to last?
Well, I do think it's really interesting because I do think you have a golden opportunity right now. If there is any pressure coming from Andrew Berry or from Jimmy Haslam to get Shadeur on the field, um, they have an opportunity here to say, let's not rush Dylan back just because he's cleared in the concussion protocol. We don't know always, how those medical conversations go. It wouldn't be unusual for him to be in a concussion protocol for more than 1 week if they wanted to see Shadeur in Las Vegas. So I do think it's really interesting. The fact that Kevin came out immediately after the game and before anybody asked him a question, he said Dylan Gabriel's our quarterback.
Dylan's
like is
my
very
stutter.
totally predictable. But we'll see here. I mean, I think it's really interesting. I mean, I think on some level you have to evaluate Shadeur Sanders before you go in to next year's draft. So I don't know.
Stefanski a lot of credit.
You're 2-8, so there's 7 games left. Do you need to see Dylan Gabriel for 7 more games? Because I think we kind of know what Dylan Gabriel is. You probably need to get a look at Shadeur Sanders just to see what is your plan going into next year. And I know there's a lot of people that are excited right now about Fernando Mendoza and Ty Simpson. And I just go back and watch last year's game film of Shadeur and even Dylan Gabriel in college. Those guys looked like studs. It's a different game. It's a different game in college. The Mendoza stuff I think is funny because I think if you look at the games that he's played against talented teams, he's been very pedestrian. I know statistically he's done really well, but if you look at the games where I think the first 3 games of the season, he put up 9 or so of his 30 touchdowns, and those were against Indiana State, Kennesaw State, and Old Dominion. So if 9 of your 30 touchdowns come against those 3 teams, like I
Yeah.
don't know what that does for you. Ty Simpson at least plays for Alabama and is playing SEC competition. So he's played, I think, 4 or 5 ranked teams already. But I
Listen,
just don't know that either one of those guys is going to come in and on day one change this franchise. Like it's
yeah,
going to be just like we're
we
seeing right now, the struggles of Shadeur and the struggles of Dylan because you're a rookie in the NFL and it's a different game.
Yeah, we live in Ohio, so most of the people that live here are Ohio State fans. So in a few weeks, when Ohio State ends up playing Indiana in the Big Ten championship, and Mendoza plays real NFL, like multiple NFL players on
Yeah,
one
6 or 7
defense,
guys that are going to be in the
and he
NFL.
throws 4 picks, everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, maybe he's not the guy."
I mean,
So
look, there's things to like about him. He's completing a lot of passes. He's throwing a lot of touchdowns. Hasn't turned the ball over a lot. He's got a big frame. I get all those things, and you're going to make all your comparisons to your Josh Allens and that's fine. I mean, sometimes you do find those guys and hit on them. I just rookie in the NFL is not an easy job at any position, and especially at quarterback. So if you think that's going to solve all the problems, I can tell you that Dylan Gabriel and Shadeur Sanders are better quarterbacks today than either one of those guys.
yeah, and yeah, I mean, James Frank just said, "Screw the QB, I want offensive tackle and Mekhi Lemon." Um,
Well, imagine if you could go into this year's draft and you were looking at guys like Reese from Ohio State to pair next to Miles, or Carnell Tate to bring into this wide receiver room. Like,
that's
and
what
I
we
know those are
need.
local
Yeah,
guys, but guys like that, right? If you thought, hey, maybe let Shador run this thing for a year where he's prepared as a starter all off season, and we build the game plan around him, and we bring in actual first round talent with these
yeah,
picks instead of chasing a quarterback that may or may not pan out in the NFL.
that's what we
That
do.
is worth the next 7 weeks to me. You're 2-8.
Right. Well, and I just another James Frank, another comment that he had earlier was he said, "Oh, where's that? They'll elevate Watson fast as hell." I agree with you just for one point. They're gonna elevate Watson and open his practice window as soon as they think they're ready, simply because they need a third quarterback, as evidence today. And he'll be the third quarterback. I was on the I was on the fence on if we would see Deshaun Watson the rest of the season just because of the complete shit show that we are. I'm now of the belief that we absolutely will not see Watson the rest of the season. And that's simply because one, Kevin Stefanski is convinced that Dylan Gabriel is our franchise quarterback. And then two, even if he's not, I do think that regardless, he doesn't like Shadeur Sanders. He doesn't believe in Shadeur Sanders. And if it gets to a point, as if it's not already there, I mean, we all know it's there, but apparently the Browns front office and staff don't know it's there. If it gets to the point where it's like, okay, we're legitimately like completely looking forward to next year, then they're gonna say, yeah, we're gonna lose as many games as we can. So we don't think Shadeur Sanders can win games anyway, so we're gonna put him out there.
Yeah.
And we're gonna call him a bad. I go back to your conspiracy theories, and we're gonna give him a bunch of bad plays so he can look terrible.
Yeah. I mean, reading the tea leaves here a little bit, um, I think I think you're right in that it's not Kevin Stefanski's plan to play Deshaun Watson. What I would say is out of the 2 quarterbacks that are activated right now, Deshaun Watson would be the best of the 3. If you were trying to win a game or 2 before the end of the year, I think we will see Deshaun Watson. So I think if Kevin's job is in jeopardy, I think we will see Deshaun Watson before the end of the year. If Kevin has a handshake agreement with Jimmy that says, "Hey, this year is what it is. We'll get him next year." We're not going to see Deshaun Watson the rest of the way. He'll let Dylan Gabriel keep stinking it up out there each week, and that's going to be what it is. And I don't know that we'll see Shadeur the rest of the way. Even in, I know there was the reports that he's going to play the last 4 weeks. I don't know that you'll see that. I really don't. I think that Dylan will play the rest of the year if healthy, unless Kevin needs to win 2 or 3 games to keep his job, and then I think we'll see Deshaun.
Yeah. I actually want to come back to this comment that James just left. James, we appreciate all your comments, but you said Tate is good, but Lemon is better. I'm going to disagree with you. Lemon's a pretty good athlete, but dude's 5'11", 195 pounds. I don't want anything to do with him. So I'd rather take Carnell Tate.
I mean, look, there's a bunch of guys that you could.
Because the Browns, we're really good at drafting undersized players, and they turn out to be absolute ass. So
I'm not even stuck on Arvell Reese or Carnell Tate. They just were top of mind because we live in Ohio.
well,
But
obviously, I'm just
bringing in
I just
guys
had to
of
throw that out there because Carnell Tate's like a man, and
bringing in guys of that pedigree. Because here's the thing. Okay, draft Ty Simpson, draft Simpson, or draft Mendoza next year. Bring them in and put them behind this offensive line and put them with this wide receiver core. Good luck.
yeah,
This team is not just a quarterback away.
no. All right, so we talked about the defense, we talked about the offense, we talked about Shadeur and Gillen, Dylan Gabriel,
Gillen.
new nickname, little coconut, little lava lamp Gillen, whatever.
Samoan Frodo.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about Kevin Stefanski, obviously. I don't think it's a surprise. We've been talking about how bad Kevin Stefanski is for 4 years. So I don't think I've outright said it, but hashtag fire Stefanski. Can we just
Yeah, I mean, it's just he's not worth. Like I said, it's time for that Browns vacation. Like if you got better things to do on Sunday afternoon, clean out the garage, go to church, do whatever you're gonna do. There's no reason to watch this team outside of to watch Miles break the sack record each week.
Yeah, I'm gonna reiterate. Jim Schwartz should be promoted to head coach immediately, because then we'd probably win some games the rest of the season. Bubba Ventrone still needs to go, and yeah, I mean Cam Robinson got hurt. That's really the only other got hurt. And who was the backup that came in for him because he got smoked the very next play?
Yeah, KT Levinston. Yeah, that guy's really bad.
Yeah, he got absolutely smoked on the next play. It was
got
terrible.
a couple times.
I heard the guy next to me, like in the second half, he was in the suite next to us. He's like talking to some other guys. Did you see 72 get beat? I'm like, oh shit, the dude's a bad. Like, there's a reason he doesn't play football usually.
Yeah. You think Shadeur was unprepared? That guy definitely was hoping he was going to get through today with just a paycheck.
Yeah. It was bad. Sorry, whatever. But let's give our nominees for Dog of the Week, Kenny. We'll start with you because we've been giving you the shaft lately, and you've been last every time, and you're never allowed to pick who the obvious Dog of the Week is. So go ahead. Well, I'm serving it up to you. Are you going to take it?
I get the low IQ pick this week. I get the 4 sacks. I'll take Myles Garrett for Dog of the Week.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Carson Schwezinger. Just because that guy, he's a legitimate all-pro linebacker in his rookie year. Like that guy is the best. Like he might be the best player at his position.
If he doesn't finish top 3 for
top
rookie
5,
of the year, I mean that's a shame because he's really good, and he's doing it on a high ankle sprain right now.
Right, and I think that's I'll tell you this: the play that sealed it for me, and he had a lot of good plays today. He was all over the place. He had like 11 tackles or something like that. But when he just came up and met Derrick Henry face to face, just right in the middle of the line and stuffed him like no help, no nothing, just a complete solo tackle. I was like, this guy's a man.
Well, and this isn't to disparage GOK. We love GOK here, but we talked recently about just the size difference in those two guys. And I mean, I think that was a clear example of like, here's a prototypical middle linebacker. JOK is great. He's athletic, can do a lot of different things, very versatile. Schwezinger is the archetype of what you want at that position. And we mentioned Lamar at the top of the show and just the fact that he didn't run a whole lot today. And you called this out on the preview show that you were looking at Schwezinger to be the spy. And he got loose on the very first drive on a scramble, and Schwezinger shut him down on that first series.
Never got loose again.
They were like, all right, I guess we're going to take that out of the game plan today because this guy's fast enough to handle Lamar.
Yep. Lamar ended with 4 rushes for 10 yards. So Carson Schwezinger is the real deal. Like he's a legitimate first team all pro as a rookie. If JOK can make it back, I am and be anywhere close to where he was when he went down. I am very excited about what that linebacking core could do next year. I mean, those are 2 phenomenal pieces to have
Yeah, I mean, I'm not
again.
going to hold my breath on JOK. That was a pretty serious injury, obviously. I mean, we'll
Yeah.
see if he even
And let's
comes
not
back.
forget, like you're
But
talking about, we just talked about size disparity and all that stuff. The same guy. Derrick Henry is the one that
right,
JOK tried to, that was the hit. That was what did it.
yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, we hope
um
he's okay and we hope he returns, but I just don't know that he's ever gonna. I don't know that he'll play again, and if he does, I don't know that he'll be able to play at the same level.
I wish I could highlight this one. James on Facebook. He's a straight up football player. When asked about who he was prepping for, he said numbers, not names.
I love that.
So yeah, it's phenomenal. And then Bones sent in Devin Bush with the pick six, which I'll tell you this. I didn't talk about this earlier. I just wanted to throw it out there right now. Devin Bush, when he got that interception, he looked up after he shook off the first tackle. Like the guy was like all draped on him and he kind of threw him off. As soon as he got through that, you could see his face. He looked up and he was like, I am so close to the end zone. I cannot miss a pick six here. And nothing was going to stop him. He's like, I might never get this opportunity again.
Yeah, that
And he was so excited when he got in.
that was a determined return. Yeah, Devin Bush has been a nice pickup. He's an athletic guy and he's played a lot. So, but that was a cool play. And I know that wasn't Bone Man's skeleton key to victory. He thought we were going to get the scoop and score, but we have been calling for a defensive touchdown basically all year because that's the only way this team can compete is if the defense puts points on the board. So they gave it their all today. They really did. That whole
when,
unit played well.
when the Ravens took the lead, I looked at everybody in the suite and I was like, well, that's the game. Offense can't score, and we can't be on defense right now. So, I don't know what to tell you.
Yep.
Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but here we are. And so with that, Myles Garrett, Carson Schwezinger, Devin Bush. I'll put that graphic up tomorrow so everybody can vote. Kenny, what are your final thoughts today, or do you want me to go first? Whichever you want.
You can go first.
I'll go first. My final thoughts for the day. It's kind of like 1.5 because one's kind of a given. So first final thought, the given. Hashtag fire Stefanski. That's what I'm going with. But then my main point here. I just miss me with the Shadeur hate is my final thought because I saw a lot of things. Like I didn't really participate in too much back and forth on social media today. I might get into it tomorrow. Who knows? I might be feeling squirrely, but right now I stayed out of it. I just was kind of reading a lot of posts on X and different things on social media, and people were just destroying Shadeur. And most of the people that are destroying Shadeur are the ones that are like, "Oh, Shadeur's not going to be anything." When he gets in there, what makes you think he's going to be the answer? I actually had somebody go back and quote a tweet from or a post from weeks ago, like at least 3 weeks ago. And I commented on his, he was talking about Shadeur's not the answer. And all I said was, how do you know Shadeur's not the answer? Because he hasn't played. And then I even followed it up with, it doesn't matter who plays in Kevin Stefanski's offense, the quarterback is going to look bad.
Yeah.
And he quoted that today and he came back at me and said, do you have an update here? And I'm like, yeah, it's still the same. Which too soon to tell if Shadeur's the answer because he's played a half and nobody looks good in Kevin Stefanski's offense. So I guess point me. I don't know. Like
there's a lot of victory laps going on right now by the Shadeur
and
haters.
it's just way too soon. He's played a half.
Yeah.
He didn't prepare. The coaches didn't prepare him. Like it's just way too soon. I think if we do end up getting a week this season where he gets to prepare all week long as the number one with the number ones, it's going to be a completely different game than what we saw this half. Do I think he's going to light it up and just be, all world? I don't know. Probably not, to be honest with you. But I think it's going to be much better than what you saw this half.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, we documented the fact that it didn't go well. But I'll go back to that last drive because I think once he had his feet under him a little bit, it takes some time. It's the first NFL action he's seen in a real game. That final drive, he put balls on guys, and he had 3 drops on that series. So he had the one nice long completion. He had 3 drops, and one of those was the game-tying touchdown. So I don't know if you have a real receiver out there, not disparage Gage Larvadane, but if you had a good receiver out there, maybe he comes down with that
he's
ball.
not making. Like, let's be honest here. So
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you had a true number one that you were throwing to that was a guy that could go up and get a 50-50 ball, you might come down with that, and that ties the game. And then all of a sudden, it's a very different story about Shadeur today because,
yeah,
yeah, he started out kind of rough, but if he tied the game and they went to overtime, it's like, hey, it was a pretty good effort then. So
yeah.
I don't know what else you can do as a quarterback besides put the ball on guys. When they drop them, that's not really the quarterback's fault.
You could be like who was it a couple years ago that threw the deflected pass, caught it, and then ran it in for a touchdown. You know what I'm talking about? The highlight is a few years ago. I don't know, but
I don't remember.
James he caught it too. He said he quoted, he put balls on guys. I
He
laughed
did. He
at
put
it.
balls on guys.
I laughed at it, and then he laughed at it. That's great.
He put balls on guys, and if they don't catch them, you don't catch them. I mean, it is what it is. It's the game.
That's phenomenal. But yeah, Kenny, what's your final thoughts for this one?
My final thought is, I mean, I don't have any about the Browns because they're a dumpster fire. They're not worth watching right now. We covered everything there is to talk about the Browns. My final thought is, if you are a religious person, a praying fella, Bernie, 61 years old, over at University Hospitals. The news came in shortly after the game concluded that the liver transplant is scheduled for tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. So just thoughts and prayers with him and his family, and just hope everything goes really well. Young legend at 61. In the brown and orange, and just hope that he can reclaim his health and get back to doing the things that he loves. So again, just prayers up for Bernie this tonight.
Yeah, just such a great guy, and I mean so much. I mean the interviews he did on the news, he's so much life. So
Yeah,
yeah, I'm with you. With that, one more time, let me remind everybody to call the Burning River Sportscast Hot Take Hotline. Remember to call, leave your hot takes on the Hot Take Hotline. James, quit leaving comments and leave us a hot take on the Hot Take Hotline.
Yeah, call us.
A and J on YouTube. Make sure you call the Hot Take Hotline 330-227-8081.
330-227-8081.
330-227-8081. Call now. Not standing by, but we'll put you on our show.
Call be now, sure or we'll kick you in the jimmies.
Or kick you right in the jimmies. We should kick Jimmy in the jimmies. Be sure to check out our gear, www.thetabandmedia.com/shop. Oh, real quick, before that does it for us. I want to say I was at the stadium. The suite was nice. Drove by the Muni on the way in. We didn't tailgate or anything today. Only the front lot again, and the Muni was full. So everybody that's like, oh, the Muni's going away, you don't care, or you'd be there. And two tickets were $6 today. The stadium was almost, there was gaps everywhere. The middle section, there's like the lower bowl, the upper bowl, and then like the middle. The middle was almost completely empty. It was cold and windy. It played into it. The Browns aren't good. Obviously, they're not getting any better anytime soon. And just going to that stadium once again, Madden Generic Stadium number 5. There was literally nothing special about that stadium. I'm driving in and I made the comment today. I was like, everybody talks about how sad they're going to be and whatever. And I'm like, I'm not going to be sad when this thing gets demolished. Like, the Browns have been ass since they've been here. There's hardly any good memories, football related. Like, there's good memories of family and friends there, but there's not good memories football wise. And like, look, this is the stadium. Like, I'm not excited to go here. I'm not coming to this thing like, man, this is the stadium that I get to go to every time I watch my team. Like, there's nothing special about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's understandable that people weren't there. The tickets were priced low because of the weather and because the team's bad. But I agree with you 100%. I mean, you can miss me with there's only 29 Muni lot tailgates left all time. It's gonna be so sad. You can get drunk in a parking lot anywhere.
Yeah, the last 5 are going to be the ones that really mean anything. And even those might not, still be in the middle of December and January. I mean, so
we'll see if people even show up for that. I mean, if the front lot is the only lot filled, I mean, that's not good.
Sorry, I almost forgot to talk about just the stadium experience and how it was just nothing. The suite was nice. The company that I won the tickets from took very good care of us. Ohio Business Machines. But besides that, like the stadium's just
Oh,
not
the
great.
suites
So
suites are always nice. If you think that suite's nice, wait till you see the suite in the new dome.
right, yeah. I got to win another one so I could go check that out.
I mean, look, we all act like there's some kind of nostalgic attachment to this stadium. We call it the factory of sadness.
Like if
That
nothing
is
else, wouldn't it be nice to shrug that for a little while, at least until the new one became the factory of sadness?
right. We can erase the mistake by the lake and we can be the I don't know, the the park in Brook Park.
Yeah. Also, my
Whatever.
wife had $1 billion idea, and I don't expect anyone to not $1 billion idea, like maybe a couple $100,000 idea.
Is it to bring
Uh,
Captain Taco back and put him in a
no,
taco
no,
truck
it was
outside the
actually just to
stadium?
buy some land over like a mile away from the stadium or half a mile away from where the stadium's going to be. Just turn it into a parking lot and call it the Muni 2 and make Mewtwo with Browns gear your your logo for the parking lot because it's the
I mean,
Mewtwo.
the branding is good, but that
Yeah.
idea is already sailed. That all that land is going it's already being
Yeah.
sold.
Yeah, well, that's what I meant. Like the branding part of it. I was like, yeah, they should do that. Nobody's gonna do it though.
That's
But
what happened
yeah,
to
I don't
poor
know.
Captain Taco.
Yeah, yeah. But now,
R.I.P.
now that'll do it for us. Kenny, what can we expect this week?
Oh, what can you expect this week? We'll be back on Thursday with our normal show previewing the Week 12 matchup with the Raiders and another Browns backer interview, TBD, and all the other things you listen to the Burning River Sportscast for, like the same takes over and over and
In
over
over.
and over again.
Yeah.
Like this one by
Spoiler
Ira
alert:
Stefanski.
the Browns are not gonna beat the Raiders. We're going out west, people.
This is
Haven't won
probably
since like 2003. So
This is probably I mean, we get 2 shots left. You got Tennessee and you got Las Vegas. I mean, that's it. That's the
it's
2
not this
wins that
one.
you might have on the
It's not
calendar
this
still.
one. Well, don't worry, we'll have that for you on Thursday's show. The exact date when they last won out west, and it's going to be a long time ago. Let me just tell you that. Don't forget to check us out on social media. Tappan Media is on Facebook, X, and Instagram at the Tappan Media, and Burning River Sportscast. That's this podcast on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Burning River Sportscast, and on X at Burning River Pod. And you can find our podcast wherever you get your podcasts. I'm talking Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube Music, Amazon Music, Stitcher, Pandora, iHeartRadio Podcast, Castro, Good Pods. We are a number 1 ranked football podcast, and so many more. And please, please, please leave us reviews on on your podcast app of choice. Help us grow, continue to tweak things, and bring you guys the best content we possibly can, and help us continue to be the best damn Cleveland Browns pod in the land. Kenny?
That's it. That's all I got. Don't just be a part of the problem. Be the whole damn problem.
And only you can prevent river fires. Burning River
Burning River
Sportscast.
Sportscast.
Good night, Cleveland.
Burning River. Good night, Cleveland.
Good night, Akron.